The female CEO hid her identity and visited the nursing home she had funded. She discovered the residents were eating leftovers spoiled for 3 days. The caregivers, however, were eating rich and freshly cooked meals, and any elder who dared to resist was threatened by the management. They warned the elders that if they didn't eat now they would never eat again. Hearing this left the elders terrified and helpless. Seeing the scene, the CEO couldn't stay silent anymore. She scolded them, saying the company donated huge funds, so how could they abuse the elderly? But the manager didn't take her seriously at all. Seeing her mention the company, he grew furious and turned his anger on her. He even demanded she eat the food on behalf of the elders. Hearing that made the CEO furious. But when she refused, the female manager ordered the staff to hold her down. They then shoved the rotten food straight into her mouth. Only then did the CEO realize this home she donated to was essentially a death trap. She was actually the chairwoman of the corporation. For years she had donated to many nursing homes for free, but on her grandfather's funeral day she learned this particular home abused the residents, and they even tried to destroy bodies to hide the truth. Seeing the bruised body left her shocked. To uncover the truth, she disguised herself as a new caregiver and entered the home. Today happened to be family visiting day and the scene looked warm and peaceful. The CEO felt relieved, thinking it all must have been a misunderstanding. After the visit, she walked an old woman back to her room. She found the elders were living in the basement in filthy and smelly conditions. She immediately asked why they weren't in the newly renovated rooms upstairs. The elders said the nice rooms upstairs were never meant for them. They were reserved for the management. Hearing this made the CEO furious. She spent millions building this home for lonely seniors only for the leaders to take it over. But worse was still coming. Just moments ago the caregivers acted respectful, yet now they showed open disgust. They even beat and yelled at sick elders. The CEO was about to intervene when several caregivers forced a group of elders into a room and ordered them to undress. Only then did the CEO understand they staged everything to avoid being exposed. They forced the elders to act and beat anyone who tried to escape. The elders never reported anything because the director handled all complaints. They didn't want to burden their children, so they endured hunger and abuse. But she never expected the caregivers to go even further. To cover financial losses, they forced these elderly people to eat spoiled food, while they themselves ate lavish meals, which led to the scene at the beginning. The CEO only spoke up for the elders, and the caregivers shoved a whole bowl of rotten food into her mouth. Now she finally understood this nursing home was a place that devoured people alive. She immediately texted her assistant telling him to come quickly. Her assistant rushed over with an inspection team, but the director had received a tip-off and staged a show with elders at the entrance. This made the assistant notice nothing unusual. Meanwhile, the CEO had been locked in the basement and the staff targeted her at every turn. The head caregiver ordered her staff to hold her underwater. Even the nearby elders couldn't watch anymore and told her to beg for mercy, but the CEO refused and said they would pay for this. The head caregiver wasn't scared at all, saying the director didn't care about those old useless people. She even bragged she wouldn't be afraid even if the complaint reached the company's president. Hearing that arrogance, the CEO stopped hiding. She declared she was the company's CEO. She thought the woman would back down, but the caregiver was utterly deranged. She grabbed a bucket of boiling water and splashed it on an injured elder's face, then mocked that boiling water could sterilize wounds. The CEO never imagined the home she donated to was full of such monsters. The head caregiver refused to believe she was the CEO. To teach her a lesson, she grabbed a wooden stick and beat her ruthlessly. An elder who tried to speak up was also beaten. The other elders finally couldn't tolerate it anymore. They had suffered enough and someone was finally defending them. They couldn't watch the woman die because of them, so they all rushed forward and held the caregivers down, buying the CEO time to escape. The woman didn't hesitate and ran out to find her assistant. She swore she would make these animals pay. Luckily, she reached them just as the assistant was about to leave. And what awaited them next was the CEO's most brutal revenge.